Her name was Caroline. She was my coworker in London when I was on assignment for Citibank. She took me under her wing, showed me where to eat, where to shop, how things worked in the office. She literally made me feel less alone in a city where I had no family, no friends, and no idea what I was doing outside of work. We were so close, really close. For over a year, she was my person. And then I went back to the United States and I never stayed in touch. I dove straight into my next assignment. I moved on and I left that friendship behind. And to this day, I can't find her. I've looked, I've searched, but I lost her because I was so ambitious, too ambitious to realize what I had. Today, I'm talking about the friendship tax, what we as ambitious Black women sacrifice when we prioritize our careers over the relationships that actually sustain us. And I'm announcing something personal too, my Road to 55 journey and why I'm spending my 55th birthday reconnecting with the people that I love instead of going to Bali alone. Let's talk about it. Now, the friendship tax is what happens when you allow friendships that should be core to your existence to fall by the wayside. Not because you stopped caring, not because you had a falling out or anything like that or an argument, but because you didn't invest the time and energy that they deserved. Now, here's what that looks like. Maybe you stopped responding to group chats that you're in, or you cancel plans again because of a work deadline, or you realize that it's been 6 months since you called your girl back. Maybe you look up one day and the people who used to know you best don't know you at all anymore. And here's the thing, we talk about this concept when it comes to romantic relationships, right? Women are always told, don't put a man above your female friendships. Don't sacrifice your friendships for a romantic relationship. Yet nobody says the same thing about your career. Nobody says, don't sacrifice the relationships that provide meaning to your life for your work. Because your career, it's just another relationship. It's your relationship with your work. And for ambitious Black women, especially those of us who may be single or child free or introverted or career centered, we pour everything into that one relationship. We pour our time, our energy, our identity into our careers, and we pay the friendship tax. Some of us pay that tax over and over and over again. We lose the people who knew us before the titles, before the promotions, before the executive presence. We lose the people who see us, not just our resumes. Now, let me be clear. I am unapologetically career centered. The world always shames women, especially Black women, for being ambitious, for prioritizing our careers, for not balancing in a way that society expects us to. But I wear career centered as a badge of honor. I'm not ashamed of my ambition. But being career centered doesn't mean you disconnect totally from your personal life. And here's why the friendship tax hits Black women harder. The first is that we're conditioned to prove ourselves twice as hard. We're in work addiction mode, like we talked about in video 2. We're recovering from career trauma, like we talked about in video 3. We're navigating the triple tax, being Black, being a woman, being introverted, like we talked about in video 4. So we work, we grind, we overperform, and friendships, they tend to fall to the bottom of the priority list. The second reason is we don't have the same built-in support systems. Many of us are the first in our families to reach executive levels. We don't have parents or siblings who understand what it's like to navigate corporate at this level. So we lean harder into work because work is where we feel competent. Work is where we feel seen. But friendships, they require vulnerability. They require showing up as the version of you that's tired, confused, and uncertain. And when you're the strong Black woman who has it all together, that's hard. The third reason is the higher you climb, the lonelier it gets. You outgrow old friendships. You can't relate to people who don't understand your ambition. You feel guilty for leaving people behind. You code switch, even with friends, because you don't want them to feel like you've changed. And eventually, you just stop trying. That's the friendship tax. And I paid it with Caroline and with others. So, how does this connect to leadership? Because this is a level one leadership issue, leading yourself. Leadership lesson number one: knowing when to prioritize your personal relationships is part of leading yourself. You can't lead well if you're always isolated. You can't lead well if you lost the people who keep you grounded. You can't lead well if your entire identity is wrapped up in your job title. Leadership is life. It's not just what you do at work, it's how you show up in every relationship, including the ones with your friends. Leadership lesson number two: friendships keep you balanced. When you pour all your time and energy into your career, you actually lose yourself. You become one dimensional. You burn out. You work addict your way into exhaustion. But friendships, they remind you who you are outside of your title. They have a way of keeping you humble. They give you perspective. They give you joy. They give you permission to just be you. Leadership lesson number three: memory matters. My mom is starting to suffer from dementia. There are things she can't remember anymore. And it hit me the other day. I want to make memories now that will stay meaningful to me. I don't want to look back at 55, 60, 70 and realize I spent my entire life in meetings, on emails, climbing corporate ladders, and I have no one to share it with. So I'm making a different choice, which brings me to my road to 55. And this is something I am so excited about. My birthday is in early July. I'm turning 55. Yeah, I know. I don't look it. Originally, I was going to go to Bali. I was supposed to go for my 50th birthday, but COVID happened, so I planned it for my 55th. But when I actually started to do the planning this year, it didn't feel right. I wasn't excited or as excited as I thought I was going to be. I kept thinking, why am I planning a solo trip to Bali when what I actually want is to be with my people? Now, I'll admit that that is not normal for me. I'm an introvert. And so what that means is usually I want to be by myself on my birthday. But this time, I really deeply want to reconnect. So here's what I'm doing. I'm taking 3 solo road trips across the United States. The first one is going to be in the Northeast, visiting my sorority sisters and my friends. The second one is going to be Central East, down to the South, visiting more friends and more of my sorority sisters. And the third one is going to be along the Pacific Coast Highway, all the way up to the coast, from LA to Seattle. Each trip is going to be about 2 weeks on the road. I'm doing all 3 between now and July. And the good news is I'm documenting it, not just for me, but also for you. Because I'm going to sit down with my friends and I'm going to ask them, how do you see me show up as a leader, even though you don't see me at work? Like, what are my strengths? What does leadership mean to you? What's your favorite memory of our friendship? This trip is going to be about reconnecting, rebuilding, and refusing to pay the friendship tax anymore. And I'm inviting you to come along for the ride with me. Now, if you've made it this far in this video, here's what I want you to do. Audit your friendships. Ask yourself, who are your people? Who have you lost touch with that you wish you hadn't? Who are the people you'd drop everything for? And do they already know that? Then I want you to do something about it. Send a text this week. Make a phone call. Set up a coffee date. Don't wait until you're 55 and searching for Caroline on LinkedIn and other places, wishing you'd stayed in touch. Your friendships are part of your leadership. Invest in them. Now, if today's topic resonated with you, and if you've paid the friendship tax before, tell me about it in the comments. Who's the friend that you wish you'd stayed in touch with? And if you want to follow along on my Road to 55 journey, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell. I post new videos every Thursday at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be sharing the road trips, the conversations, and the memories. And I hope that it inspires you to reconnect with your people too. Leadership is life, and life is meant to be shared. I'll see you next week, Lady Leader.